Your host here at Prophecy in the Spotlight, coming to you live tonight. This is November the 17th. Can you believe it? And it is 7:20 p.m. Central Standard Time. Coming a little early tonight. We're going to get a series started tonight, and we've been traveling a lot, and but we're going to get a series going on the ticking clocks. Some ticking clocks ticking down to the Lord's return. And let me tell you, we are closer than anybody realizes. We are very close to the end of this thing. And by the way, our episode I did for television which will also be on YouTube, about you know an interesting date for 2026 is coming. It's either this Friday or next Friday. I can't remember which. And I don't know when I'll get that uploaded for YouTube, but I'll do my best. But you'll be able to watch that on the TV program if you get CTN or VTN. You're in Arkansas, VTN Saturdays at 2:30. Um, and CTN is Friday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And you can get that on Roku. You can get it on if you have satellite and dish. Um, Not sure how else you can get it, but I'm sure there may be a way. All right. Let's see. I think it'll be on bbsradio.com and a couple of other internet networks as well. And I think you'll find that program quite interesting. I did it by myself. I had the screen next to me, and I did the PowerPoint and showed you some things. All right. There's something that I want to share with you before as we get into this first ticking clock, because the first ticking clock is this: a 6,000 year clock is ticking down. We cannot go past the 6,000th year. I promise you that. Because that becomes the Sabbath of the Lord. It becomes the kingdom age, the seventh day of Genesis 1 and 2, where God rested. Now, God is not going to be late for that. I don't care what anybody says. God will not be late for that Sabbath. Now, I got several things I can give you that prove a 6,000 year earth and a 7,000 year earth if you count the kingdom age. I am convinced that is true. I am convinced that is God's plan, that God created this thing that we call our earth and our universe inside of time and space to last um, 7,000 years, 6,000, then the kingdom. I'm convinced of that. And I've got lots of scriptures I can give you. I've got testimonies from men way back to 150 AD that I write about. Um, but let me make a statement here. Um, God set forth His plan for man here on Earth with the understanding that this would be 6,000 years. Now we have been inundated with evolution all of my life, and this goes back to the late 1800s, I guess, Darwin and all that. This thing called evolution. It was just a theory, and most people didn't believe it, but it's not anymore, is it? It's believed by a lot of people today, and it's taught instead of taught as a theory. It's taught as truth today, and they don't teach creation anymore. So we got a whole generation or two of people that have grown up under this teaching. Let me go a little further. So we've got evolution, science, biology, all based only on men's wisdom. And we have been forget the Bible. We've been culturally programmed to think of our earth and universe here and the human race as being millions of years old. Now, I don't think people think the humans are millions of years old, but the earth, the atmosphere, the planets and the solar system and all of that. We've been programmed to believe in this millions of years thing. Am I right? Am I right out there? We've been programmed for that. Now, this is bigger than you realize. This thing, obviously, number one, it contradicts the Bible, so therefore it's wrong. Um, and it's there's no proof to back this up. But what is Satan trying to do here? Satan is trying to get us to disbelieve the 6,000 year earth. Why is that? Because if you believed in a 6,000 year earth, you'd be getting your bags ready. Are you listening tonight? You'd be packing your bag and getting ready because we're very close to that time. Remember now, there's going to be a 7 year marriage supper and a 7 year tribulation for Israel before that takes place in the final 7 years of the 6,000 year period. So really, we only need to get to 1993 on the New Testament clock. And you say, well, brother, good, this is 2025. This is not 2025. This is 2025 the way men count because they began counting at the birth of Christ. That's not where the New Testament clock begins. The New Testament clock begins at the death of Christ. Okay? So there's 30 some plus too many years on our calendar, right? That are they've been counting Old Testament years, right? It's all Satan's deception, right? So I believe God's prophetic clock was pre-wound to tick for 6,000 years, and today we are in its final hour. We're in the final minutes of that final hour. And it could be tonight, it could be tomorrow, it could be my date in November next year, 2026. In fact, that's my best guess. If I had to take a guess, I would say we got another year. But but you can't know. You just can't know these things. Okay, so lots of reasons I believe in the 6,000 year Earth. I don't think I have to go through them. I share these all the time. You guys have heard me. Um, Scriptural evidence, 2 Peter 3, 1 through 8 talks about a day is with the Lord's 1,000 years, 1,000 years a day. You go back to the creative week, and it's obvious Peter is referencing the 6 days of creation, 6,000 years time period. So this is not rocket science. This is simple. This is simple Bible study and simple math, and we've got men throughout different generations. I'm not going to read all them. They're all here. We got Bishop Latimer, 1552. The world is ordained to endure, as all learned men affirm, 6,000 years. Okay, that's not the Bible. That's a man, right? I'm just pointing out. I've got many men who are respected and learned men who believe what I believe, that the world was created to last 6,000 years and then the kingdom age, a perfect 7,000 years. We got Latimer in 300 AD. It is necessary that the world should remain in this state 6 ages. That is 6,000 years. Irenaeus, 150 AD, wrote a book called Against Heresies. In that book, he says, "For the day of the Lord is as 1,000 years, and in 6,006 days, created things were completed. It is evident, therefore, that they will come to an end in the 6,000th year." You think any of these guys was looking for the rapture? Not a chance. Not a chance. And all right, the transfiguration points to a 6,000 year earth. After 6 days, he takes Peter, James, and John up, the rapture. Moses and Elijah come down, meet Jesus in in his glorified body and all that. And many other things I could share with you. So this is a ticking clock that I think many today, because of evolution and because of this junk that we've been brainwashed with all of our lives, that we came from monkeys and the world is millions of years old, we have lost this thing about the 6,000 years. Are you hearing me tonight? Because of science and falsely so-called science, because science is true, and that ain't true. These are simply men's opinions and men's wishful thinking, and no evidence whatsoever to back any of that up. And you say, but brother, good, they've done these tests and they found that the Earth is this old. That's a bunch of baloney, and this carbon dating and all that nonsense. Don't believe that stuff. Believe the Word of God. The Word of God. We're going to be here 6,000 years, and we're getting out of here, and the kingdom age is coming. And we have been brainwashed. We have been lied to. by so-called scientists, biologists, and teachers, and with this theory of evolution, and it's nothing but a bunch of lies. But it has warped our minds. It has influenced us, and that's why I think we have lost the understanding of the 6,000 year Earth. All right, and you know, some of you are wondering. You talk about this all the time. This is important. This is important. We're getting close to the time. I think 2026 could be the 5,993rd year, and then you got the 7 year tribulation that's got to be squeezed in, and the marriage supper. During the 7 years, Israel's going to fill in the missing 7 years on their clock, and we're going to finish off the 7 years on our clock in heaven at the marriage supper. We're not married yet. We're at the marriage supper. At the end of the 7 years, that's when Jesus says, the wife hath made herself ready. First time we're called the wife, Revelation 19, at the end of the 7 years. And so I believe in the 6,000 year Earth. I believe in the kingdom age another 1,000 years. I believe it's going to be perfect, right to the day, right to the hour, right to the second. And I believe Stephen is a key to this. I believe the ceremonial law ended at the cross with the renting of the veil. But I believe that's not the end. I don't believe it. I know it. That's not the end of the 69th cycle, the sabbatical cycle that Daniel spoke of. Jesus dies in the sabbatical cycle, but not the end of it. Almost the end. Six years and 6.5 months into it. There's 5.5 months left after the cross before the sabbatical cycle ends. I believe that's where Stephen died. I believe that's the end of the 69th week. And there's 1 week of years left, and it's for Israel. And it'll happen when we're at the marriage supper. We'll at the same time, we'll be filling in the gap of the missing 70th week. We'll spend it at the marriage supper. The Jews will spend it on earth for the 70th week, the tribulation period. Anybody want to trade places with them? I didn't think so. All right. So it's 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 a ticking clock. The 6,000 year Earth is a ticking clock, counting down the minutes and the seconds and the hours. And I believe the Lord will come at the perfect time, and that will fill in the clock, and be the right time on that clock. I believe it'll be six. I believe more than likely it'll be at 6 p.m. Jerusalem time. And when the rapture happens on a new moon of a fall month. And you can disagree with me all you want. You got a right to be wrong if you want. And now, which month will it be? Which year will it be? It's hard to tell because of the calendar. And I'm figuring out what year Jesus died. Has the calendar been messed with? We just don't know. So the date that I have found, though, has a lot of interesting things that make me think that I'm onto something here. But again, I wouldn't sell my life insurance policy. I wouldn't do stupid stuff. I believe you live like Jesus could come tonight, and you plan to be an old man or an old woman. And I think that's the best advice that you can get right there. All right, we'll be back, Lord willing, again tomorrow night. Either 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock Central. I usually come at 8, but I have to go somewhere. So I wanted to get on here early, and I've got to leave here in just a couple minutes to meet somebody. And so I wanted to get on, do the live stream first. Okay. We're going to do several of these. In fact, I have 7 ticking clocks that I'm going to share with you, one of them each night. Okay. So we shared the 6,000 year ticking clock. This is a very simple one. And get this in your head. Get it. The world will not go past the 6,000th year without God Sabbath coming in the kingdom age and Christ ruling from Jerusalem. Now, the calendar may be off some, and we may not figure this out to the year, but it ain't off that far. We're close. We're close. You ain't got no 20 years left. Yeah, you ain't got no 10 years left, friend. Question is, which of these next few years is it? We're close, and you better realize that. It's time to pack your bag. It's time to make sure you're right with God, you're saved, you're born again, you're right with the Lord, and your spouse, your children, your family, your friends, your loved ones, and your neighbors. It's time that we get serious about this. The clock is ticking down, and time is running out, as my gospel track says. Time is running out. All right. Okay, we'll see you next time. Hopefully tomorrow night. Oh, by the way, the book, I finished the book last night. My wife's in there on the phone right now with one of the proofreaders. They're going over stuff. They're still uh, they're still fixing a few grammatical things, but basically it's done. And we were going to print it this afternoon, or have it printed, send it to the printer. We decided to take a little bit more time and look it over one more time. So we'll have that sent late tonight. I'll send that to my publisher in Florida. In the morning, she'll see the file and she'll begin print. All the covers are already printed down in Florida. She's just got to print the book, punch the holes in it. It's going to be spiral bound. It's called Genesis, the Book of Beginnings, and this thing has took on whole new thing. Part one, verses chapter 1 through 11 of Genesis, the beginning of all things. Part two, chapter 12 to 50, the beginning of the Jewish nation. And then there's a part three that I just added, I think yesterday, if I can remember right. Brand new. I decided to put a part three, and it's called Beyond Genesis. In other words, I went a little further than Genesis into some other books all the way into the New Testament, really. And it isn't long. It's a short section, but I wanted to continue the journey of Israel and show you how they impacted the world even into the New Testament here. And some good stuff. This is going to be a helpful book. It really is. All right, and so you don't have much more time for the pre-order. Um, my publisher said that she might have it ready to ship by Friday. It might be Monday. I don't know. So the pre-orders will stay up until I get the books. When I get the books here, all the pre-order people, your books will be mailed to you, and we got quite a few to mail already. And then I will end the pre-order, and so sometime next week, Monday, Tuesday, I will end the pre-order, and we'll put the regular price. 5 books for $50 free shipping. That's like $8 a book. Great Christmas gifts. Give one to your pastor. You keep one. You'll have 3 for Christmas gifts. Or if you can't afford the $50, there's 2 for 25. That's still a great deal. Free shipping. You can give one to your pastor or give one away, whatever you want to do. All right, but hey, do help us out here. Get those orders in. What I'm going to do is print out all those labels. When I know the books are on the way, the shipper, when my publisher says we're mailing them today, you'll have them in 2 days. I'm going to have the labels printed and the envelopes out ready for your books to put in the envelope, seal the envelope, and I'll be taking several hundred books to the post office that day, to the shippers. And you need to be one of them. Okay, that'll help us financially with the cost of this stuff, and it'll be a good boost to get the book out there. Okay, so go on the website prostinthespotlight.com. You'll see the book right there on the front page. I think both of them there, both ways to order. Um, and they'll take you right to the website, godsfoundjubilee.com, where the bookstore is. And you can order. If you need help with that, you want to call the 800 number during business hours. My wife and daughter, they'll take your order over the phone. They'll do your credit card. But if you know how to do it, you can do it from the website. You can do it very quickly. Okay. And if you need to write a check, you can do that. It'd be good if you called first, at least so we know that you're sending a check and what it's for. Okay. And all right, I've got to get on the go here, or I'm going to be late. So let me get off here, And let me shut Facebook up. So thanks for watching. Hey, hit the like button, share this thing, okay? And you on YouTube, same thing. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the subscribe button, and and also share the YouTube video with your people on your social media sites. Okay, we're going to do a whole series about 7 weeks here, on 7 weeks, 7 days of the seven clocks that are ticking down to the end of time. A 6,000 year clock is pretty important. And now quit being a scoffer. Oh, we don't know how much time we got. Let me tell you, we can narrow this down pretty close. And you better wake up. You better realize time is running out. And I've got six other clocks I'm going to share with you that are ticking down, and we're near the end here. Okay. All right. Any comments here? I gotta see. We got Minnesota is here. Mississippi is here. Are you new to the program? I don't remember a Mississippi. It's Kenneth something there. Can't quite see it. And welcome. And we've got 1992, now September 1993, Rapture 2000. And I'm not sure I understand what he's all saying. Um, September 1990. I'm not sure what he's saying, but anyway. All right. God bless. And I got to get off here. And keep your eyes on them skies.